Hey everyone, Catch 'em All Collectibles here with a pretty exciting purchase video. I'm recording this on January 3rd. You'll see this on the 5th, Wednesday. I bought these items in early November. I'll start by showing you the cards and then I'll go over to the computer screen to show you what the listings look like. I bought these through Heritage. 2021 was kind of the year of buying ill-advised collection sales through Heritage. So I'll show you the cards now, talk a little bit about price, but I'll get more into that when I'm at the computer screen. So this lot was a complete 102 card set of base set first edition and Shadowless. So you'll note, like, we've got everywhere. What have we got? I think Alakazam is our lowest grade, is a 5, and that's first edition. We've got a 9 first edition Blastoise. Our Charizard big hitter is only Shadowless, not first edition. Then we've got just a good mix. You really don't know what you're going to get. You really had to pay close attention to the photos to see specifically what you're going to get. So anyways, these are the holos. I guess the most notable things being the Blastoise PSA 9 first edition, Zapdos PSA 9 first edition. And then after that, I mean, you've got Charizard that's a 7. But pretty good set of holos. I will say this whole lot, a little over $12,000. It was a $10,000 bid, 20% buyer's premium. So, yeah, pretty mixed bag, but pretty exciting set to get. Not the whole base set first edition, but the whole base set, Shadowless minimum, first edition in many cases. You'll see for the non-holos that the general grade is a fair bit higher than the holos. And there's a handful of like PSA 10 first edition in there, so pretty good buy all in all. I'll just go through one by one for these quickly. So yeah, first edition Beedrill, Shadowless on those two. We've got another first edition there. Shadowless PSA 10. There's one standout card. I'll kind of blaze through them all and see if in the comments below as I'm going through these, let me know if anything stands out as just being amazing. There was one standout card when I eyed up this lot that I was really excited for. I don't say it very often, and it doesn't apply for too many cards, but there's one card in here specifically that is going to be in my personal collection probably forever. Really epic card. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. We've got a lot of 8s through 10s. Again, some Shadowless, some first edition, but super nostalgic. I think there's even, as I go to list these, a lot of these I'm just going to be listing on eBay. As I go to list these, I do have to pay attention. I think there's a couple gray stamps in here. First edition Charmander. Gotta be excited about that. Like that looks like a pretty gray stamp on the Drowsy. But yeah, we're just rattling through quite a big set. The other one I show you when we get to it, you'll see that the holos are all PSA or CGC graded. Yellow cheeks, not the red cheeks, just the yellow cheeks there. But yeah, I did win two large collections through this Heritage lot, and this one being 12,000, the other one being, let me check the other window, about 23,000. So I spent about $35,000 total between these two lots that you're going to be seeing today. And then, yeah, I'll go really quick through these ones. The trainers and energies aren't super exciting, but there's still some value there. And for the full set completionists that have to have everything slabbed, there's obviously some interest and value there. So did anybody catch it? Anybody leave a comment below on what the standout exciting card was from this? I'll go back and grab it just so it can be talked about more in depth. Oh, man. If you noticed, Squirtle Squad Squirtle. let me know. Leave a thumbs up for Squirtle. So this card, really interesting. When I was going through the listing photos, this thing stood out to me from a mile away. I talked to some other people who were looking at this lot and nobody really noticed it that I talked to. So it graded a PSA 9 MK. For anyone who doesn't know, MK is like a grade qualifier that stands for marked. If you didn't know, this isn't like a rare error. There's no way to pull the Squirtle Squad Squirtle unless somebody, I guess unless somebody at WotC was playing around with a Sharpie on the print floor. But yeah, so somebody had a PSA 910 Mint Plus quality Shadowless Squirtle, and they gave him the old Squirtle Squad glasses. And this card is just hilarious. I'm going to... You can't see me right now, but you can't see my backdrop. I'll probably have this thing always in the backdrop somewhere, at least for a while. Bring them out every so often because it's just really funny to me that someone decided to ink that card and then get it graded. Whoever did that, you're a legend. I guess if you're the one who originally submitted it, if this was your collection you sold through Heritage, just reach out to me, show me your original submission. I'll send you something interesting just as like a prize for being a legend. So I shouldn't go on too long because I've got more cards to show, but I was really hyped for that Squirtle, if you couldn't tell. So then the second set, quite a bit more value. In this one, only the holos are graded. So let me work on that glare there for Chansey. The PSA set, they graded everything. The CGC set, one, it's all first edition, so no Shadowless, it's all just the first edition variant. And as you can see, they're all quite high grades. This is what I would call like a near mint to mint plus set. Worst card, unfortunately, it's got to be Charizard, right? But Charizard's the lone 8. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.5s, and the remainder 9s. A very, very high quality, solid base set, first edition set. As many people probably know, I do own, or did own, I'll say, a complete PSA 9 first edition base set. I'm not directly replacing that with these, but between this first set of holos that I showed you, like specifically Blastoise being a 9. So I have this PSA 9 Blastoise, I have one in my PWCC vault, and then I have a CGC 9 Blastoise. I'm going to review all of the ones that I have and pick like my favorite one relative to the grade. So I don't mind having different grades. I don't mind having different grading companies. I'm going to assemble my kind of favorite, best value to me set amongst all these. So some of these you'll be seeing on my eBay. Some of the PSA ones you will. Others will just go into my collection. Maybe what I'll even do, maybe I'll list both PSA 9 Blastoises and the CGC 9 Blastoise. The first 2 to sell, I won't keep. I mean, I'll price them relative to how I value them. And then the first 2 that the market takes away from me, I'll keep the third one. Something like that. I haven't fully decided, but in any case, I'm super, super happy to get these. I mentioned in my video, I'm actually recording this on the 3rd. My video just hit 1,000 views in like 8 days, which for so many people, that's like nothing, but that's or 8 days, 8 hours, I mean. Out of the gate, that's like the quickest. I mean, a lot of my videos don't even have 1,000 views yet. A handful of them do, but for one to hit within 8 hours was massive. And in that video, I talked about how I'm no longer grading with CGC very likely. So I guess people like to hear the news that I'm going with PSA only moving ahead. That said, though, and I did mention towards the end of that video for anyone who stuck around, I'm going to not stop buying CGC because to get all these cards for the cost of one PSA 9 first edition Charizard is massive. Like, I know my camera quality isn't the greatest and lighting. I don't know how well I can show this to you. And anyone who's looked close, it is kind of strange. They didn't pay for subgrades. Like, subgrades are too expensive when you're talking bulk cards. So for $10 a card on a $15 grading fee, that's a lot. And I don't personally pay it either. Or I didn't when I was submitting to them at the end. But to not have paid the upgraded fee to get the subgrades. That was kind of an oversight in my opinion. But yeah, if you want to check out this card condition, it's super hard to see, I think, with my setup here, unfortunately. But to me, I mean, I recently sold a PSA 8. Anybody watching my videos a couple months ago saw that. It had a massive, like, roller marker print line through the card, and this is way better than that PSA 8, hands down. This is better than some 9s that I see on the market and some 9s that I've owned in the past, probably. I remember selling a 9. The bottom, though, down there, can you see the whitening? I mean, I don't want to say that this CGC 8 is a 9 because I don't see it being that, but I think that this would be like a solid PSA 8 as well. And then if you want to take back, just for like more of a direct comparison, because I don't unfortunately have my old PSA 8 Charizard that sold, but like here's a CGC 9 Blastoise and a PSA 9 Blastoise. I looked them over closely. If I just had to look at these two raw and pick one for like a given price, I would definitely go with the CGC one. It just like the corner on that PSA one has a few bits of whitening, almost like the Charizard 8 had. And you've got more up there. You've got a decent bit of whitening going on. And it's not like it's, I don't buy into it, but the whole 2-cert, 4-cert thing. Where are 5-certs? Are they better or worse than 4-certs? Better or worse than 6s? I don't buy into any of that. But to me, that feels like on the weaker edge of a 9. Whereas this one, I don't remotely think it would like cross to a PSA 10. But it feels like a really good 9. Like, I'm super happy with that card. And just in general, these 8.5s, a lot of the 8.5s, I can see why they got it. Like this one, the centering's pretty bad top bottom. That was probably like the worst subgrade of all. And the whitening is just generally speaking on par with the rest of the lot. So the grades all feel fair to me. I'm really happy with CGC 8.5s and 9s. And this lot also did come with a complete blind. There was no photos of this, but there was mention of it. So it came with a fully sleeved, what I'd call near mint to mint non-holo set. I had no idea what to expect though, because again, there were no photos. So looking at a couple cards at random, I guess I can go to like some of the better ones, but like Bulbasaur. Again, I don't know how well you'll be able to see. Little bit of whitening, little bit of whitening. I mean, if I had to just really quickly estimate the grade, like a PSA 8 maybe. Charmander. Charmander feels a little bit better. He could be 9 quality. So I'll have to, I don't know what I'm going to do with these. I already have a pretty nice binder set I'm happy with in like PSA 7, 8 condition. Pikachu's got a big thing of whitening right there. But some of these, I mean, the optimal way would probably be to grade the ones that are 8+, sell those individually, like I'm talking down the line, and then just sell the rest individually on Troll and Toad, Evo or something. But I don't know 100% what I'm going to do with that. In a way, I'd almost like to just sell it as a set for someone who wants a pretty nice clean binder set, but making that listing is just a big pain. Trying to show the condition of 80-something cards all at once, but yeah, that's my purchase. I will go over to the computer once we're done here in a minute or so, and I'll talk through the process of buying from Heritage, how long it took for them to ship it and all that. It took quite a while. But super, super happy to get these in. I think I've had them in a week or two, so it's taken me a while to get them, a video done of them too, but super, super happy. One of the most exciting purchases I've made in quite a while. Kind of on par with that $24,000 collection, base first collection buy I made that had that ugly Charizard in it. And I made out well with that. I just flipped that whole lot. Some of this lot, though, I'll be flipping, and some of it will be kind of replacing my personal collection PSA 9s. So, yeah, I will catch you over at the computer. So we're over at the computer, and I almost just recorded this section without my microphone plugged in, but I got the microphone in, so hopefully you're hearing this. Here's the CGC Holo set that I showed you. You can see they titled it as Pokemon First Edition Base Set Complete Trading Card Set, Wizards of the Coast 1999, partially CGC graded. So it's a complete first edition base set, 102 card set. I would have thrown in if I was them, because it didn't have the red cheeks, it just had the yellow. But somewhere towards the front of the title, I personally would have put that it was like a complete 102 card set, because when you look at the photos, you have the front and the back of the holos, and most of the value is going to be in the holos. But given that those were near mint to mint, there's a couple, I mean, there's a few $1,000s there potentially, depending on the grades that some of them hit, if we're talking $10 to $20 PSA grading down the line, which I'll probably wait for. And even if I were to just sell them as near mint through Troll and Toad, there's at least a couple grand there, I would think. So to not have those photographed at all, I mean, at least fan them out if it's one picture front and back for 4 photos total. Feels like that's what I would at least shoot for, that as the bare minimum. But so they describe it, complete set. They tell you what the grades are. The non-holographic cards are being sold raw, near mint. So they do say that they're in near mint, but the fact that they don't even show them, how much can you actually trust them? I purchased that lot a few months ago of the Delta species, which didn't mention that it was a master set with all the reverse holos that happened to be in mint condition. So they actually did. Yeah. So partway through the listing, they actually mentioned that it's a complete set, but only partially graded. I wonder if someone reached out to them and said, hey, are all 102 cards graded or not? But that question wouldn't need to be asked if you just included 2 more photos that showed it. So I don't know why people continued to consign through Heritage, Golden, even PWCC in some instances, when they don't really like take the care to photograph and title listings properly. And that's coming from me, who's really bad at it myself. I think these guys could do better, but when they don't, I'm there to scoop it up. I paid $22,800, a little bit of extra money for fees and all that. They do tack on shipping. If you want to pay with a credit card as well, they tack on 2.5%, I believe it is. 0.5, because I have a credit card that pays me 2% cash back on all purchases. So I mean, 2% on 23,000 almost is $460. So the additional 0.5% that they charge, the 2.5% credit card processing fee, that 0.5% is like $100. It's not a ton of money when you're spending that much, but in another way, it's like not nothing either. So between the 2 lots together, I actually opted to pay by check. I sent the check via snail mail to save a couple $100. It was roughly in credit card processing fees. But yeah, here was the other listing. They actually went through this one and photographed just the fronts, but they did photograph everything. I think this is reasonable to photograph the front where it shows the grade. Like some people would say PSA 9 base first Blastoise, I want to see the back of it too. But I see the angle of it's professionally graded. Here's the front, here's the grade. That's fair to me too. So this one I think was more reasonable. And in photo number 3 here, I remember, or photo number 4, I remember clicking through these and that guy just stood right out to me. We've got Snorlax kind of pointing at him in the back there. Squirtle Squad. He was almost worth the $12,000 alone. Obviously not really, but I'm a big fan of the card, so happy to have him in my collection. And this one was less on Heritage. I think it's reasonably titled and photographed for what it is. It's more on just the consignee. It's more on the person who sent it in to sell it. Like, why? I don't know. I would think you would have been better off at PWCC selling these all 102 individual listings. It's just weird. Like, some people only collect base first, some people only collect Shadowless, and most people who are collecting one or the other, not all of them want a whole set. a lot of them only want one grade. So when you've got multiple sets or multiple variants of the same set, multiple grades, I mean, at least they're all PSA slabs, I guess. They're not like PSA and CGC, but you really minimize your buyer pool. And if you make it too much of a mix of different things, kind of like this one was, you're really limiting your buyer pool almost exclusively to like resellers like myself. I don't see that too many collectors would want to buy this lot unless it came in at an extreme discount. And I think I got a pretty good deal. I recently got an offer that I declined for around $6,000 on my other PSA 9 Blastoise in the PWCC vault. So that alone is roughly half, like gross. That would be before fees. But I just sold a Venusaur today, a PSA 8 Venusaur for $2,000. So we're already at $8,000 gross between those two cards, approximately. And then, I mean, if you want to go through yourself and just from the video earlier, approximate what's there, I think I'll do well on this. And if people want to see it, I haven't created like spreadsheets for these yet, but if people want to see like the spreadsheet review as I sell these, populate the data, show how close I am to break even, show how much profit I make on the lot, I could do that for these. If people have interest, just let me know in the comments below. But I think that's everything. Oh, I guess one last thing I did mention. So I bought these on November 6th. I sent a check within a few days, figured a couple days to get there. I didn't receive these until like, I should have had the date ready, but it was roughly 6 weeks all said and done. 6 weeks from when they received the check. So say they received the check on the 11th. Yeah, it was just before Christmas. And I actually had to call them. I hadn't gotten a tracking number, and it was like just a few days before Christmas. I called them and asked them what was up. Like, hey, I think at the time that I paid for this, you guys said one week to hold my check and then 2 to 3 weeks to ship. And it had been like 4 and they hadn't given me a tracking number. And then boom, that next day they hit me with an overnight tracking number, and I got it in just before for like a nice early Christmas present that I paid $35,000 for. So not much of a Christmas present, but still kind of felt like a Christmas present in a way too. So yeah, that's I wanted to just include the shipping time thing because I've got rate in all my eBay listings 2-day handling, and I ship on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Occasionally, if I'm going out to do something else, I'll even do Tuesday or Thursday too. So like 1/3 of my buyers, if you buy the morning or the night of, like before I ship, you're getting essentially same business day handling. If you buy on like a Tuesday, it's 1 day. So, and I still get people 3 hours after they pay for it. When is this going to ship? Really impatient. Oh, it was supposed to be delivered today and it didn't come in. Don't go to Heritage or Golden or any of these like real auction houses, because you're going to, I don't know what you'd do. if within 6 hours you're sweating an eBay purchase for a couple $100, if you spend 35 grand and have to wait 6 weeks, I'm not sure what you're going to do with that. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that comment in there. And I guess I was a bit of a pain to Heritage too, because I did call them, but I think when they say 2 to 3 weeks and it's over 4 and no tracking, I didn't realize they were going to overnight it, but, and maybe they only did that because it was so late. I don't even know, but anyways, I've got it. They're here now. If any of these cards jump out as you as cards that you really would like to pick up, let me know. They're all probably going to hit eBay. As I said earlier, some of them will be going into my collection, but I've got to take a closer look too. Doesn't really make sense to do it on the camera because you just can't see well enough through the camera, but I might look for like crossover plays on some of these CGC cards in particular. Now that PSA has the $100 tier open to the public, some of these cards, if there's potential to go from like an 8.5 to a 9, or if I really think there's a shot at like a 9 to a 10, even a PSA 9 to a 9 might bump the market value by more than the $100 grading fee. So that is something I'll have to consider in these next couple of weeks as I think about getting these listed. So yeah, that's my big exciting purchase. I think Friday I'm going to have another purchase video for you. I've been buying way too much recently for how far I am behind on listing and selling things, but I see a lot of value out there, and these are the kinds of things that I see value in. Part for my personal collection, part for like just business opportunities, like via a flip, getting them under market value and just flipping them into the market. So yeah, that's everything. I appreciate you all watching, and I will catch you all later.